What's going on, y'all? It's your boy DJ Richie Skye. We are back in the building, and listen, we back in the days where we back in the car and we got to deliver the news because the news is dropping, okay? Now, I know you guys may recall a couple of weeks ago, we got the exclusive from the Jasmine brand that the reel had been canceled. Loni Love had come out with a little bit of a statement or a tweet about it, but now she has come out with a further tweet to let us know that the end has finally come for the show, which really sucks at this point, you know, because ultimately this is jobs lost, this is loss of income for, you know, staff and crew members. And, you know, thank God Garcelle also has, you know, some of her first look deal with NBC Universal, as well as the new season, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her new book is coming out, I think, on the 12th of April. So she has some other things in the works. But here's what Loni had to say. She said, in the end, the Real cast and crew did everything we could to scale the show down. We shot 7 to 8 shows in 3 days, no audience, made a conference room into a studio, but in my opinion, the pandemic cost killed the show. It's been a great ride, and thanks to the viewers for 8 great seasons. Well, you know, it's interesting to me, you know, I think the pandemic definitely shut a lot of things down. It did. But I would have thought, I think that the pandemic would have allowed us to see that production costs could be cut, particularly with Zoom conversations. And maybe it was just time to take the Real to a new platform, like a Fox Soul or something like that. I mean, because honestly, if I look at it like this, Cocktails with Queens, with Claudia Jordan, and Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, and Selena Johnson, I'm sure production costs have to be like very low. And I'm saying that because I'm sure there's definitely production that goes into it, because I know what that's like, because you still have to produce a show. However, it doesn't require a large studio space. You know, maybe the women are, you know, able to do their own hair and makeup. You know, I'm not necessarily sure what all goes into it. I just know that there are definitely ways that shows can be put on for a lot less money than what some of these talk shows are currently having to shell out for a daily show to run. So I don't really know. I just think that the pandemic has definitely showed us that things can be done differently. Ultimately, you know, for Loni Love, you know, she's a comedian, so I'm sure she will be able to, you know, get back out there and pitch more shows and do more things and do more commentary, because I know that she's done some other things as well. And I'm sure that Adrian is set, and I'm sure definitely Jenny is set as well. So to me, I think everybody has enough going on that, you know, while I'm sure they're going to miss the camaraderie of having a day-to-day show, I think that each of these ladies will be fine. I guess my worry is often a lot of times with the staff and the crew, because I understand what it takes to put on a show, and I know how hard it can sometimes be to go from gig to gig, especially when you work in the production world. So, you know, my heart goes out to them. Definitely a sad day for the Real fans, and I'm not shocked to see this coming. I kind of felt like it was coming. We've been seeing the end of a lot of different, you know, shows and stuff like that, and the, you know, newer shows coming out. But, you know, what I will say is this: there are other ways and other platforms that you can get your shows, you know, out to the masses, and it doesn't have to require a network to do so. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can look at Fox Soul, we can look at Zeus. You know, we can look at Tubi. We can look at all of these other streaming platforms that people are starting to use to get their content out there. So there are other ways to do it outside of the traditional cable route. So, you know what? Each of these ladies is going to be fine. I wish the best for them. And I think that, you know, hopefully everybody is able to bounce back. Now, speaking of bouncing back, will Will Smith be able to bounce back from everything going on with him and the Academy Awards? The slap heard around the world, is now costing Will not only movies being put on pause, but it's also causing him to not be invited back to the Oscars, okay? He's been banned from the Academy for the next 10 years. 10 whole years. Now, we know that he had already resigned from the Academy, so I'm sure he was prepared for any and all backlash at this point. And I'm super glad that they did not try to take his Oscar away from him. While I do feel like what he did was wrong, I definitely feel like if you were going to leave Oscars in the hands of the Harvey Weinsteins and the Kevin Spaceys, then you are going to leave the Oscar in the hands of that good Will Smith as well, okay? That's what we're going to do. Now, as far as him being banned from the Oscars for the next 10 years, I don't think that's going to hurt Will Smith in any way, shape, or form. I think that with time, because there's going to be another media news story that's going to overtake this one at some point. You know, I think with him putting his head down and doing the work, they were already saying that the sales of his book have seen a resurgence since this whole situation has been happening. So to be quite honest with you, I feel like as long as he puts his head down and gets back to work, I feel like Will Smith is going to be fine. And let me say this. While I do appreciate everything that, you know, award shows and, you know, the academies and the Grammy committees and all of those things they provide for people, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they legitimize the work that is being put out there, is that you do not need anybody to legitimize the work that you do. Like, I feel like a lot of times people get upset when they don't win awards, and they, you know, want to ban awards when they're not represented correctly. If we stop looking at these award shows for validation in the first place, we won't even have to worry about whether or not we attend those things or not, or whether we win those Academy Awards or not, because at the end of the day, what matters is the work that you're doing and the constituents and the customers and the communities that you are serving with your work. That is the important thing to remember here. So for me, again, I definitely felt like, you know, okay, there deserved to be, you know, some action, some reprimanding to happen. I definitely get that. But ultimately, I think that, again, like I said, Will Smith, similar to those ladies from The Real, will definitely be fine. Put your head down, Will. Get back to work on your next project and keep it pushing, okay? So that's the word that I have for you guys right now. Word on the street, baby. I'm literally the streets, okay? So anyway, that's all I got for you guys right now. Make sure you keep it locked to the channel. If you see my stitches in my mouth, I mean, you know, just ignore that, because, you know, we got to do what we got to do, however we got to do it, all right? With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.